Everyone, we are live. I'm so happy to be here. And in this live challenge, again, I'm going to go live for the next 7 days. And I'm going to uncover something truly, truly important and powerful for you. For those of you who are seeing me for the first time, let me quickly introduce so that you know who I am and why you're here. I am Ajay Almeida, and I have dedicated my life to help working professionals to achieve Zen like balance in their personal and professional life using my build system so that within 6 weeks and without the emotional firefighting, they can achieve their Zen like focus and balance in their personal and professional life and live from a state of power and excellence and live their life and not somebody else's life. So this is who I am and this is what I do. Now, quickly, if you are watching me live right now, go ahead and put hashtag live. This is going to help so that you can reach to maximum people, or you can even type hashtag replay if you're watching replay right now. Fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to reveal to you in this upcoming live sessions is something that is the reason why you are unable to be where you want to be. And virtually no therapist or coach is talking about it. That's because most of them do not know about it. And it's a blind factor for many people. So you're going to learn this blind factor in these upcoming 7 days. So stay consistent, show up, and you just need to be here for a few moments and you will learn all that you need to learn. Okay. So I have a few questions before we go ahead quickly. The first one is, are you inconsistent towards your life goals? Now, don't overthink. If the answer comes as yes, go ahead and type yes. Second, do you start with great energy and then give up midway? Any project you start with great energy, but somehow for no particular reason or for too many reasons, you just give up. Third, and if the answer is yes, go ahead and type yes. Do you try motivating yourself to complete important projects and tasks and yet either fail to accomplish them or go beyond your deadline or push yourself really hard to complete them? If the answer is yes, go ahead and type yes. And finally, have you tried coaching interventions so that you can get rid of this and yet you're back to square one? You have gone ahead and learned many tools and techniques, or probably even got coached, and yet you come back to square one. Now be very honest about it. And if your answer is yes for any of these four questions, or for more than three or two questions, then I want you to type bring it on, or rather BIO, in the comments if you want to get rid of this and if you want to learn why this is happening to you. I'm telling you, virtually no one is talking about it because either they do not know about it or it's a blind factor for most people. So here's the answer. And this is something that probably you have never expected that this could be the answer. We fail consistently because of this blind factor, and that is called as childhood wounds. Now, at this point, you might say, Ajay, my childhood has been great. I've been brought up by loving parents, and everything has been rosy and sunny to me. Be with me because I'm going to show you how this childhood wounding happens. And it's not necessary that you have an abusive parenting experience or childhood experience that you have childhood wounds. I'm going to share with you what are wounds and what's the childhood wound experience in this live session itself. So, if you're interested and committed to be with me and learn this, because your life literally depends on it, then go ahead and type committed in the comments. Now, without further delay, thank you very much. Without further delay, let me show you what exactly happens and what are these wounds and what do these wounds do. Let's take a look. So, I think you can see it on the screen. Fantastic. Yes. So this is what I call as the wounding experience. I'm going to take you through it step by step. Stay with me. So what happens is, maybe in your childhood, or not just in your childhood, whenever you are very emotionally vulnerable, there was a sudden unexpected event that happened. Let's say that you went to class and suddenly many of your classmates just laughed at you because according to them, you looked funny. Giving you an example. Now, you were not emotionally ready for it. You're not calm, composed, and ready for it. Like most of the times, we are not. And as children, definitely our emotions are all over the place because we're still developing. So, Your emotions were not you were not ready for it, and so it was an overwhelming event for you which you did not process. This is important. You did not process that event. Now, because it was too overwhelming, it was a sudden and unexpected event, and you were not ready for it, and you did not process it, it makes you doubt one or more of these five factors. It makes you doubt your worth. It makes you doubt whether you really belong there. It makes you doubt whether I'm safe there, or whether this environment is trustworthy for me, or whether truly I am important or not. Now, these are the many judgments we pass in the moment as a child, as a vulnerable child. And what this does is this doubt sinks in with the feeling of shame. That's right. Many of us are not aware of how shameful we feel within. Now, this experience is called as a wounding experience. This is where the wounding actually happens, where you create an unconscious fractured belief about yourself. What I mean by fractured belief over here is you create a mini life belief, a mini life belief, which is actually absolutely irrational, illogical, but it is an emotionally created belief. Because at that point of time, you're not in a state to think through or process through that event. Now, understand this very carefully. What you do not process, you absorb. What you do not process, you absorb. So you absorbed this belief, this unconscious belief, and then how did that belief come out in your unconscious mind? In your unconscious mind, this belief, which is very invisible, started playing off in one of these five or more of these five sentences. You created a belief that I am not worthy, I am not part of this, I am not safe here, and I cannot trust. This is the reason why you stop or you self sabotage your success. Let's take one by one. Let's take the first one over here. I'm not worthy for him or her or this project. This can be played in a relationship. Have you come across your own relationship where everything was going fine and then suddenly even the partner was great and then suddenly you felt that he's too good for me or she's too good for me? You didn't think it through, you just felt it. And then for no reason you stopped seeing him or her. You could have done the same in your career as well, in a project. Everything is going great, you know you're capable of it, but then inside you feel, within yourself, viscerally you feel that this project is too big for me. In other words, I am not worthy for this project, and then you sabotaged it. It could also mean that in this organization, everyone else is one group. You constantly feel this, that there is groupism and everyone else is one group and I am left all alone. This feeling of being left all alone or this feeling of being lonely even in a crowd comes from the fractured self belief, from the wounding experience that you do not belong. Now, in this live, we will just talk about these two, and I'm sure you must have realized what this does to you. So, this wounding experience doesn't stay as it is. Whatever happens in the unconscious mind keeps on getting repeated in your conscious life. I'll repeat that. Whatever happens in your unconscious mind gets repeated in your conscious life, whether you like it or not. And where does it get repeated? It gets repeated in the form of your relationships, in your finance, in your career, and in your parenting experience. Very unconsciously, even if you try your best, you start coming down to square one in these areas of your life. Maybe you sabotage your relationships, or maybe you sabotage your finances. You're earning well, but somehow you're just not able to save, or you're constantly in debts. Why? Because the unconscious fractured belief that runs because of your wounding experience says that I am not worthy for this money. And so what do? I make sure that I engage in any irrational behavior by means of which I spend it all out or I keep taking debts. It can happen in parenting as well. You want to love your children, you want to give you the best to your children. But if you're carrying this wound that you cannot trust anyone, then you will have an unconscious doubt towards your children. You'll keep doubting them, and they will feel that, and you'll transfer the wound to them. It can also happen in the terms of relationship, as I've already mentioned. You can sabotage your relationship because of this wounding experience. So, if you want to learn more about what are these childhood wounds and the wounding experience and how it impacts the different areas of your life and how you can come out of it, then I encourage you to go ahead and follow me and also make sure that you show up on every live session which I'm going to do specially for you. And all of these are absolutely for free because I want to allow myself to express these complex phenomena in as simple words as I can to all of you working professionals and business people, so that you can get rid and come out and have an awareness of these blind spots that you have in your life. Now, if you enjoyed today's live, go ahead and say enjoyed, tag 3 or 4 people who can benefit from this. All right. And I'm signing off for today. And let's have a great life ahead. Tomorrow, we're going to go deep in all of these wounds. So, thank you very much for being with me. God bless. And don't forget to join my community. The link is in the first comment. You can join my community for free. Thank you so much.